everybody, it's SaskiaSketches, and today I'm going to review some acrylic markers. It's been like, I don't know how many years since I've done like an art supply review on this channel, but I used to really like doing those. I always got these scroller boxes, which were like some subscription art supply box where they would send you a little box in the mail with a couple different things and a prompt, and you would make something cool with it. I used to really like those, and I remembered, and I coincidentally also got these things, so I really wanted to, I don't know, like film and kind of try them out, talk about it, because yeah, I went to see a friend of mine for her birthday, and we had a lot of fun playing around with these markers. And if I can find the page, there we are. I really enjoyed them. I thought they were super fun to play around with, but they were also I don't know, very nice to use because it's acrylic, so it doesn't bleed through the other side of the page. My friend drew this one and I drew these, but I also found that there was quite like the control was very similar to alcohol-based markers, but they're a little bit more opaque, and still like very fun to play around with because it's not as messy as acrylic paints, because and they also dry very quickly, so I quite enjoyed them. And obviously with alcohol-based markers you have the bleed through, which I don't always want to deal with, because maybe I want to use alcohol markers on this side of the page, but I've already got art on the other side, so I can't use alcohol markers there, so I have to really plan out where I want to use them, when I want to use them, so that require a little bit more I guess like foresight. Whereas these you can just kind of take out and draw on whatever you want, and I really like them. I had super like a ton of fun playing around with them, and that made me want to get some of my own. So I spent like an hour going through all the sets that were available to try and find the ones I wanted, because I don't have like a huge budget at the moment. I settled on this one as like a base set because it was super cheap. This one was like €12, which is way cheaper than like many of the other base sets, and this one has a ton of colors, so I really like these ones. But then one thing you'll notice is that this one doesn't feature a lot of browns, and I do be drawing a lot of natural stuff, so I got these as a like a what's the word, an addition, I don't know, some additional markers that have some more natural tones to them, and I'm hoping that there's at least one like dark brown in this one, because that was the only problem that we had with her markers, is that the jump from the darkest black to the darkest brown was very big. Well, like the black is just the darkest marker in general, and the jump from the darkest marker to the second darkest marker was like pretty big, because I think this one that I used for the stripes here was the darkest, and you see there's a ton of contrast between those. There's not really anything you can use to I guess like blend between them. That was like the one limiting factor. Other than that, at least the ones my friend had, covered pretty much every other color, and I think we have like a very good variety in this set in particular. This one was a little bit more expensive, but I still thought it was helpful to get and important as well. And I'm just really looking forward to trying these out, and like, I don't know, to see if the cheapest marker and the more expensive markers like how they vibe. Like, is there a big difference? It's probably going to be in the the casing, because this does look a little cheaper, of course, than this. Yeah, I just wanted to like play around with it a little bit. Yeah, so before I go and like open these, I do want to address the setup situation. Is because last time that I wanted to film something, I filmed it on my desk, and it was very I don't know, the setup was annoying. I didn't have very much room to like move around, and I also like had my desk is in a very dark corner of the room, so I didn't have great lighting. So I decided maybe I'll like try a couple different filming setups to see where I can find the best light and the most space. So today I'm trying to film on my bed, trying to see if this is you know, first of all, like comfortable enough to like sit and draw and talk a little bit, because I was thinking maybe I can do on the floor or like on the windowsill, but those are all like not very comfortable to sit. And the other thing was like setting my tripod up is just, it's always such a, it's a hassle for sure. So, but like this somehow seems to be working fine. The only concern I have is that when I'm moving around, the tripod might be moving around and give you like shaky footage, so I'll have to check when I'm done filming. But yeah, let's get into these, because I'm really excited. Like obviously here the packaging is a little bit shall we say cheap, which makes sense because they are cheap markers, so I'm not gonna like you know, you get what you pay for basically, and the packaging doesn't matter that much to me anyway, because I'm gonna keep them somewhere else, I think. But it's still nice that you get a relatively reusable case, because this can also close, like, well, I think it's supposed to be able to close. But yeah, this is, I'm not gonna lie, this is not very good for storing them in, I would reckon. I'm just gonna keep them in a drawer. Yeah, see if I can just get it out of the way. So yeah, okay, so other than that, first impressions is, oh my gosh, that's a lot of colors. The only thing that I'm really like missing is a couple more reds, because we do have one, like 2, 3 ish oranges. These could count as orange. 1, 2, 3 yellows, 4 like a couple greens, some like teals, blues, purple and pinks. So like the red is like kind of the only color where I'm like, oh, I wish there was a little bit more variety in that one. But we have a black, we have a white, we have gray. This is like a darker gray, I think. Maybe it's even metallic. So there's a ton of cool colors here. So, and the reason I got this one too is because there was also supposed to be a red, I think this one. So, like, I don't know, let's do a little swatch, because these guys have a brush tip and a bullet tip. Let me see. Oh, that's some really nice opaque coverage. Oh, this one's also very nice to use, actually. I like that they have that they're double-sided, because the ones my friend has are not. And oh, look at that. That's actually really good. I'm surprised like how good that pigment is, how opaque it is, especially. Let me see if I have a little one that's a little bit lighter. Oh yeah, okay. Oh, I vibe with this. I vibe with this for sure. Those are some juicy markers, look. Hell yeah. Oh, that's gonna be very fun to paint around with. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, they all seem to perform very well. I'm noticing that the colors are a little bit different than what is shown on the cap, which is kind of to be expected, especially with like cheaper markers. You have that problem with like alcohol markers a lot. So I guess like you know, always swatch before you paint. But they are like not wildly different, it's just slightly different. Oh yeah, and this might also be good advice to store them horizontally, because I have been, I think, but maybe they weren't previously, because this was the tip or the side that was pointed downwards. This one was the tip that was pointed upwards, and you can tell that there is more paint on this side than on that side. So you're going to have a slight variation there, because the paint is pooling at the bottom and getting drawn away from the top. But yeah, it's not like super problematic so far. Like I haven't seen any that have exploded, like the other acrylic paint markers, because there's also a big advantage of these is you can just use them right away. Like there's no you don't need to shake it, you don't need to like pump the nib so that paint flows down and explodes all over your paper. Yeah, this one has the same problem. See, I would advise you to store them horizontally, because I think that would help. Yeah, so far this set seems to be doing super well. Like the only thing is the packaging, and they do feel a little bit cheap, but they are very easy to open and close again, which for somebody like me with like very weak muscles and chronic pain issues, it can be very annoying if like caps and things are very difficult to take off, because it can hurt quite a bit. These I would say are like, they're not the easiest thing in the world, but they are relatively easy, so this is not gonna cause me too much pain. But they are light, light and cheap. The plastic is not the highest quality, but hey, they work very well, so, and that's, at the end of the day, that's all we care about really. So yeah, I highly recommend this set actually, so that's pretty cool. I am very excited to get into this one because I like the case on it a lot as well. It feels nice and sturdy. Let's see if we can open this up real quick. Yeah, so far I'm very interested in seeing the what kind of colors are in here, if they match the swatches on the back, because if they do, I'll be a little bit concerned because the values are extremely similar. I would really like some that are a little bit darker. Ooh, that feels nice. Oh, I like these. This looks really good. And you can also tell that these are not moving around too much, whereas these ones see, that's just the difference in packaging alone. So if you want to and I suppose you could store these very, very nicely. You can just put this one sideways, and you can even have the cap to put over. So if you have like a bunch of these, you could stack them up and then take off this lid cap, I guess, when you want to draw, and you could store them very easily. I am liking the look of this one in particular because this looks like a dark brown, and I hope that it is. Let me see. Oh, these are also double-sided. That's cool, that's cool. I didn't know that. Oh, and see, look, this is what I mean. This is harder to take off. And if you are using a lot of these and you are cycling through them, and you have chronic pain issues like me, that's gonna like wear at you a little bit. Like, this is not the worst thing in the world, of course, but this is gonna be a little bit of a problem. And okay, it cut me off, but I was gonna say that was disappointing because look at the value difference on the cap versus on the paint. The cap is so much darker than the paint. I want a dark brown. I really hope we have one in here. I guess I will keep searching and swatching, but oh, that one was easier. Yeah, see, look what I mean. This was a big problem with a ton of these sets, especially the ones that were supposed to provide like additional colors, is they have a ton of markers that are exactly the same color or almost exactly the same color. This one is slightly more red and this one is slightly more yellow, but they are almost the same, and I don't really need this. I need a darker brown that I can use with the black, because this one's the black. Look how much darker that is, bro. Oof. I guess my search for a dark brown acrylic marker continues. This does surprise me a little bit because these are like quite a bit more expensive than these ones, but the plastic on them almost exactly the same. If I like hold these, they are very similar in like quality. As these, I think they were almost twice as expensive as these guys. Like the only difference I'm really noticing is the packaging. I still really like the set because it has a ton of interesting colors that I feel like will be helpful to use. Why can I? Yeah, okay. And I do feel like this container is actually very helpful for storage, so I will definitely give them that. Where is that red that I was promised? Is that this one? Or is it that one? It might be this one. Because there was supposed to be... That's definitely not red. There was supposed to be at least one that was like slightly red. Also for the nibs, I'm not noticing any difference. I am noticing that these are not as easy to take in and out as I thought they might be. Guess because they fit so snugly. Wonder if this yeah. Because this one, I mean, that looks like red, right? Or is that just one of those browns? I might have to swatch them all, see if I can find it. I think it's either this one or like that one. Well, that's okay. At the very least, we have a ton of browns in here, which is something that I really wanted, because I do be drawing a lot of animals and like natural things. So I do like having a ton of browns at my disposal. So the biggest difference between these two sets is the packaging, but not the packaging of the markers, just the packaging that it comes in. And of course these ones only have this color set, because if they had another set of colors I would have probably gotten that one instead. These do have a lot of nice natural tones, at least from a glance, and I think they are a very good addition to the set that I got. They are a little bit finicky in how I thought they would be a little bit easier to like pull in and out, but that's okay. Yeah, like all these browns are extremely similar in value. Like, I guess this one is a little bit darker. Okay, thankfully there's at least a slightly darker brown. interesting because this one's cap is not the darkest. Like, you wouldn't expect this one to have a darker value. I guess it goes a little bit lighter as it dries. But I don't want to get stuck too much on that because I feel like that might also be a limitation of the medium. But yeah, you know, I've like opened the sets and I've talked you through my thoughts and swatched them out a little bit. I think it's time we try them out, and I actually have a page that I would really like to spruce up with some of these. Ta-da! I don't know what it is about Kermit the Frog, but there's just something about him when I whenever I used to feel bored but I still wanted to draw but I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to draw, I would always draw him. Because one, he's like stupid easy to draw, and two, he's very expressive, so he's never boring. So he's really good for a friggin' art block, I guess. Which is very funny. Yeah, so I don't think there's any greens in here, but I might want to use this for the mouth. Yeah, I want to see which of these greens is the most Kermit green. I'm also doing this from memory, but I think his like collar was lighter than the rest of his body. So let's see, which one do we like for Kermit? Oh, these are so much easier to take the caps off. I like that one for the collar. But maybe this one is lighter. Look, these are almost the same. So I want to use that one for the collar. That one already swatched over there. And that one's really dark. So I think it's that one and that one. Sure. And then like maybe just for the sake of it, ooh, that one's very different tone. Something for the inside of his mouth. That one's a little bit too light. This is kind of usually how it goes. Swatching these sorts of things. Yeah, I like that color. I like that color. Yeah, usually also these layer super nicely. At least from what I noticed. I'm just gonna, I think I'll just go with this one. Ooh, I like that too, that you can stick the caps on the other end. That is helpful because especially when you're using a lot of these, you're going to run into the problem where you have a lot of these markers lying around and you will be losing some caps. That's just how it goes. I'm also wondering maybe I should use a super light yellow for the collar instead, because I feel like this is more of a Kermit green. Maybe it's more of a body color as opposed to this one, because I feel like this is too bluish, I guess. Maybe I'll use like, or something like this. Yeah, sure. Maybe I will go over. I keep getting cut off by my phone. Yeah. So you can see how opaque these are as well, because they do cover up the line art. But not so much that you can't see it anymore. So I'm trying to avoid it a little bit. I'm not sure if I want to color all these Kermits, and I certainly won't in this video. I think I'll just like color one and call it there. but I might just highlight a couple of these sketches. Yeah, I like this colour for his body a lot more. I might just go over with the marker again, or like the fine liner. That is a little bit easier. But yeah, I like that these are, you can be very messy with them. And they will also show these nice like painterly streaks. I know some people really care about making sure that everything is like the coverage is extremely smooth, and for that I would recommend alcohol-based markers because they are a lot better at that specifically. But I do really like these as well for their painterly effect. Okay, yeah, I like that much better. Although it is trying to be quite dark. I might go over with a slightly lighter yellow instead. But that's what I like about these, because you can go over them again. Yeah, a little bit of this. And they are very easy to use, especially compared to like regular acrylic paints, because obviously this is not, it doesn't look exactly like acrylic paints, but it will give you, they're very easy to kind of whip out and use on any given page, because they don't bleed and they don't cause a huge mess like acrylic paints, because acrylics, you always have to like set up and clean up and wait like ages for them to dry, which these ones dry very, very quickly. Still not like as instantaneously as alcohol-based markers, but still quite quickly. And yeah, they do layer quite nicely as well. I think I might go in with like a shading color as well. Do I want to use something a little more interesting than just green? Probably. That's too dark. Maybe like a purple or something. A purple. That'll be a very interesting contrast. Yeah, look, they like cover, the coverage is super nice, very opaque. And they layer very well. Oh, my foot's asleep. Still waiting a little bit on these to dry. I think I want to go in with a purple. It's probably going to mess something up, but like, I want to do some crazy shadows. Give me crazy shadows. Yes. Hell yeah. Oh my gosh, I love this. Maybe I'll do some crazy light too, like a bright orange. Oh my gosh, I hate filming with this thing. So annoying. This one's very light. I think I'll go with this one. Use this side for a little more precision. Dang, bro. Where is man standing to get this crazy of a light source? Yeah, and with some of these darker, lighter colors, you might have to go over a couple of times. But like, look at this coverage, is super impressive. You don't get this with alcohol markers. But yeah, I'm not necessarily here to say like, oh, one is better than the other either. Because I think that they each have different applications. Might have gone a little bit too crazy. But when you don't get as many values, you've got to be creative. Like, this is really impressing me, that I can just go over again. And like, it doesn't cover it perfectly, but dang, bro, that's still really good. Okay, well, I think this has been a nice demonstration. I do need to go now because I've got other stuff to do, but it was really fun to film and make something fun. And like try out these markers, and I will be using them more in the future. I really enjoy them, and I highly recommend you get them as well. All right, well, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye. Okay, and I wanted to show a quick little update on what I ended up doing with the page. I actually am very impressed with just how good of a coverage you can get with these, because like, you remember how much purple and orange I've like thrown on here, and you can barely tell, like, these shadows right there and there and there, they're all intentional, right? I didn't I like went under with my first layer was like a dark green, and then I went over with the lighter green, and somehow it worked super well. So, and what's even better is that the paper is not like showing any sign of being under too much. Like, I layered the fuck out of this. Like, there's so much paint I threw on here, and somehow it just works. I'm very happy. Anyway, get these markers, they're great.